We're halfway through. We were reading for an hour, and we're halfway through. That's perfect. If all SCPs, if I can read 10 SCPs in 2 hours, it's always like nice. But of course, I'm not asking that every SCP needs to be short, because some SCPs are long, really pack a punch. Let's see if Red Queen Island does the same thing. If it really packs a punch. We have another Euclid. This one is so far the long. No, it's not. I think the keto one. It only makes us stronger. Which now I understand, because the more people absorbs, the stronger it gets. So yeah, that one was probably the longest one to read so far. I think, maybe, who knows. Okay, now Red Queen Island. Euclid. Due to the size and nature of SCP-1585, containment is primarily focused on suppressing public knowledge and access to SCP-1585. Containment and research is to be carried out primarily by the SCP's Garant, publicly R.V. Van Valen in the Western Hemisphere, and the SCP's Tokarev, publicly R.F.S. Filipchenko in the Eastern Hemisphere. If SCP-1585 moves within 500 km of major coastline, 250 km within the boundary of a major current, or 50 km of a major shipping lane, it is to be towed to a safe distance. Persons entering the area within 15 km of SCP-1585 are to be informed that they are entering a marine protected sanctuary and turned away. Craft which enter within 2 km of SCP-1585 are to be captured and administered Class C amnestics. Bi-monthly excursions to SCP-1585 are organized by Dr. Ruker and Sux, depending on SCP-1585's current location. SCP-1585 is currently contained in the North Pacific Gyre, 1,500 km south of the Aleutian Islands, 40.91. That's also a destination, right? That's like okay, 4091 to 178.93. I got it. Okay. Gotcha. Description. SCP-1585 is a colossal specimen of the phylum Cynadria jellyfish, found to be the most genetically similar to Chrysaura fuscensens Pacific sea nettle. The bell of SCP-1585 is 544 meters across, 412 of which are above the surface of the water, with its tentacles extending over 2,500 meters in length. That's a big boy. That's a fucking big boy. Unlike other Siphosaurs, SCP-1585's bell constantly secretes a porous skeleton of calcium carbonate from its top, closely resembling that of Amphozoan corals. This hard surface completely paralyzes SCP-1585's bell, preventing undulation. Instead, SCP-1585 will extend and retract its tentacles to kite subsurface currents, granting mobility. Over time, natural processes have created a small habitable area on the surface of SCP-1585's calcified bell, as well as recruitment surface just below the waterline. It is here that SCP-1585's secondary anomalous effect can be most easily observed. The fact that there is a 544 meters giant jellyfish is... My mom would be terrified of this. She already hates regular jellyfishes. She has a giant fear of them. Species who take residence on SCP-1585's surface will evolve at an extremely rapid rate, developing drastic adaptation in the span of only a few generations. Due to SCP-1585's mobility and apparent age estimated at over 6,000 years, has managed to and continues to recruit various species of plant and animal from all around the Pacific Rim, with haplotypes in certain species extending to as far away as Madagascar. Okay, competition among endemic species is fierce, constantly forcing responses to predation and competition stresses in order to keep reproductive fitness at a viable level. You need a lot of turtles to eat this bad boy up. It is worth mentioning, however, that only adaptation conveying a higher level of fitness are seen in organisms reproducing on SCP-1585 with neutral and negative mutations entirely absent. Species endemic to SCP-1585 are capable of invading areas that SCP-1585 passes close to. Subsequent generations are not known to attain the rapid evolutionary pace only once leaving SCP-1585, although their specialized adaptation often make them a threat to local ecology. List of notable species. Microbial organisms do not seem to be affected by SCP-1585. The leading theory for this is that SCP-1585 affects individual organisms at the time fertilization takes place, leaving asexual organisms unaffected. -1 Formicarius analysis. Black-faced antthrush. Birds had adapted specialized skulls for pecking through bones of dead animals in order to reach dentivorous and marrow within. Not only is this a giant shellfish, it also has life on it. That's fucking insane. Cocos nucifera. I'm streaming, but I do wanna call ya when ya reached. When you're finished. Coconut palm. Shorter than traditional palm trees, these trees were capable of asexual budding, believed to have been wiped out after SCP-1585 flowed through the tsunami and the surviving population was quickly destroyed. Okay, well that seems to be the most normal thing here. 55. Argiope apensa, Hawaiian garden spider. Larger than baseline, with the largest recording being 1.5 meters in length. Listen, guys, listen. I don't mind spiders, okay? I actually kind of prefer having a spider here or there. Especially in Spain, where mosquitoes are a thing, okay? So, I like having a spider around and be like, hey man, take care of these pests for me and I'll leave you alone. I don't mind spiders are a bit bigger either. I do mind tarantulas though. Those are freaking me out. Like this size of spider, I'm just like, okay, now you got me a bit quaking. But I'm not gonna be like, I'm going good. But a spider that's 1.5 meters in length, that's just a smidge too big for my taste. It has been shown that webs can be as large as 7 meters across and has been observed in 2 captured birds such as -1 and other non-endemic seabirds. Species exhibits a complex social structure identical to ants. This is the type of spider that Ron was scared of in Harry Potter. In Chamber of Secrets? Am I dumb? No, I'm good. Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, that's the type of spider Ron was scared of. Fucking massive. Way too big. That should not be okay. 77. Periophthalmus Calolo, common mudskipper, more terrestrial than baseline with physiology and behavior in line with common Hildiae or tree frogs. Observed subspecies exhibits aposematism ranging from coloration to no toxicity to mimicry of more dangerous species such as -55 or -304. There is, I don't remember if I had a nightmare or if there is an actual movie about it, because I remembered I had a fear of toads because I saw or frogs, giant frogs, because I saw this. I think it's a movie where 3 girls open the door and there's this giant frog there, and they kind of they just want to pet it. And the frog at first is like, oh, don't pet me. And then the girl's like, don't. He clearly doesn't want you to pet it. But the girl's like, no, let me just do it again. And then the moment she reaches forward, the frog just whips his tongue out and just wraps around the woman's arm, and you just hear her screaming. And then again, no idea if this is a movie that actually exists. that's like a frog-based horror movie, or if my childlike self just decided to like come up with a weird ass dream. I really do not remember, because when I tried to look it up if this movie exists, could not find it. Dash 114, Waterstenia, skin talons, firefly squid. The squid had adapted a thicker mantle suitable in shape for burrowing in sand. While burrowed, they would lay their arms out above the surface in a radial pattern, quickly capturing any prey that walks over them. 120, Forbastria immutabilis. This species is completely flightless. Oh, okay, albatross, with a larger curved beak and shorter wings. They have been shown to behave curiosity towards research stationed on SCP-1585 and shown to docility and even friendliness toward them in past expositions into the interior. Is that correct to say they're shown to behave curiosity towards research? Like, do you not say they have been shown to behave curiously towards researchers? Or is this like some part of English language that I didn't know that you can say it this way? 155. Amblerinchis cristatus, marine iguana. Believed to be one of the oldest endemic species to SCP-1585, this species has been developed longer feather-like scales as well as long forms for gliding. Dash 202, Hedera rombea, Japanese ivy. The species managed to outcompete nearly every other plant species on the island in a few short years and completely blanketed SCP-1585 from 1981 to 1984, causing a minor extinction, even resulting in the loss of 64% of terrestrial species. 203, Salopus californius, California sea lion, fully aquatic, much like modern cetaceans with near identical physiology, with the exception of the lack of dorsal fin and the retention of ears. Albeit smaller than average Otaridae ears, whiskers are modified as they are no longer and thicker than baseline Salopus californius, as well as covering the entire front of the mouth. Functions identically to baleen in the mysticity pavoda of cetaceans. Oh god, the words. 204. Salopus californius. California sea lion. Identical physiology to 203, with the exception of two protruding canines functionally similar to the horn of the Molodon Monoceros narwhal, as well as the total lack of whiskers on face. Seen as the main predator to 258 and occasional preys upon 261. The existence of 203 and 204 proves the existence of speciation from a common ancestor on 1585. Did Cinder just come online? Is that what happened? Please, Cinder, don't tell me. No, Cinder! Cinder! I'm streaming myself, Cinder, why are you online? Just kidding. Argonauta hyans, brown paper nautilus. Morphologically similar to standard members of genus Argonauta, 258 lives underneath SCP-1585, bells among its tentacles, and exhibits a highly ordered social structure similar to bees, believed to have formed a mutualistic relationship with SCP-1585, providing protection in exchange for access to SCP-1585's food. 304. Commodorus villani, unnamed nudibranch. 304 adaptation included a modified radula which would chemically burn chitinous shells of its former predators, consisting largely of decapod crustacean. Unfortunately, a byproduct of this reaction was hydrogen cyanide. Resulting rise in population of 304 triggered another extinction event on SCP-1585, resulting in the loss of 88% of marine species as well as 35% of terrestrial species. And now last one, 261, Larus hyperborus, glaucious gull, wing and feather size reduced, subsequent dissection revealed appearance of myoglobin in muscle tissue corresponding with increased diving abilities. Discovery and history. SCP-1585 was discovered by the Foundation in 1930 following sighting of strange non-native birds on the island of Guam, which could peck holes through bone. SCP-1585 was discovered 245 kilometers to the northeast and had raised suspicion to the not appearing on any map or nautical chart. I'm surprised that this is only Euclid. Following the second observed extinction event caused by species 304, the current special containment procedures were enacted, and SCP-1585 was located in the northern hemisphere. Recruitment rates have dropped significantly due to the lower diversity. The population of SCP-1585 has somewhat stabilized. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why it's Euclid. I would have if it was me, I think I would have given this a Keter classification first and then turn to Euclid. Although maybe they weren't sure what to classify it just yet, because once it's stabilized, that's then when they were able to move it and they stabilized it, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, we don't have to make it a Keter, we can immediately make it into Euclid. We don't have to worry about it too much, because who knows how long it takes for them to classify an SCP, right? We don't know if the moment they see it and the moment they understand some of it, they're like, oh, okay, it's clearly a Euclid type, and that's what it's going to be. I think most likely they classify it after just observing for a long time. They're like, okay, it's been acting like this whole time. It's this is what it's done. There's nothing new. It's definitely this type of SCP. And especially after a couple tests, they're like, yeah, it's this type of SCP. There's no question about it. But then, of course, sometimes years later or months later or a couple days after the test later, the SCP does something where they're like, never done that before. What the hell? And now they have to reclassify it. So that's why I think it must have happened with this one, because I would have thought it would be a Keter with the amount of creatures it produces. But apparently not. Apparently not.